Rapid Fire Quiz on 104.1 KRBE.
All right, this is just about bragging rights this morning.
Well, I'm going to take it, but I'm saying let's go.
All right, here we go. Are you guys ready? First of all, you've got playing 5 different people here. And does everybody have a song right now?
Yes, we all have a song ready to go. So
right.
I know I had to dig up like Sam's, had dust on it. We probably we won't need it. All right, let's do this.
All right, let's try it again. Eric, lying under oath is called what?
Perjury.
Kevin, what does an herbivore eat?
Plants.
Sam, edible wafer casing for holding ice cream.
Ice cream cone.
Rula, Hans Gruber is the villain in what movie?
Die Hard.
Eric, who is the longest running member of Saturday Night Live?
Kenan Thompson.
Kevin, when you have an abnormally elevated body temperature, it's called what?
Fever.
Sam, this measures atmospheric pressure.
Temperature.
Rula, Walt Disney won 26 of these awards.
Oscars.
Eric, the goat represents this zodiac sign.
Oh, man, I thought you were talking about the greatest of all time. Second, I don't know.
No
I don't know
point.
anything. That's crap.
Kevin, what is a male witch called?
A warlock.
Well, all right, I'll give it to him. Kevin, what item did Romy and Michelle claim to have invented in their movie?
I don't.
Post.
Oh, she got it.
She get it?
She got it just on the time. Rula, this word describes the size of a diamond.
Carrot.
Eric, Trenton is the capital of this northeast
New Jersey.
state. Kevin, Michael Jackson and Nicolas Cage both married this woman.
Lisa Marie Presley.
Sam, what grows faster, facial hair or pubic hair?
Facial.
Rula, who is the...
Time.
Okay.
No time for that last question. Okay, so do we give Special K that answer or not?
Yeah, sure.
We give
He
it to
said
him?
warlock.
Yeah,
he was
he got it.
stumbling. But
I'm
he got
still
it
on
in.
meds, guys.
Yeah,
He got it.
All right,
for
so Kevin,
He's in today. So
I made it in.
Kevin gets the pick.
it is 4 for Kevin, 3 for everyone else.
What was missed?
Oh.
What are you going to knock out?
Oh, atmospheric pressure is barometer.
Barometer. That's
What else was that the only thing missed?
Eric missed.
what was that
God, I'm
one?
having a brain fart already. See,
the
we're off
goat
the rails.
represents Capricorns.
I don't know.
That's
Oh,
rough.
I wouldn't have
Wouldn't that be a
guessed
unicorn?
And then Sam missed.
The
Just that one.
barometer.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's the only thing.
All right,
There's just
Kevin,
one
who you going to
chance.
knock out?
Okay. Oh, I get to knock someone out?
Yeah,
Yeah, because you got 4.
Oh.
That tells you something. You're on medicine. And,
Yeah.
and you're beating all of us.
What's happening?
Biggest threat to you.
Oh, you're going to take me out. That's fine. I'll just sit back and relax. Sorry, Sarah. They couldn't handle the competition. It's okay. Let's go to the next round.
Petition? What do you mean? Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
I'm not
Eddie's
showing up
still
this
in
year.
it. Marissa's still in it. Shelly is still in it. I was the last one that was supposed to start the round.
Eric
That means
will start.
Eric starts the round.
Eric,
Kev,
Kev,
Sam.
Sam. Okay, 60 seconds this round. You tell me when, Ryan.
All right, Eric, in 3, 2, 1. Eric, who is the best-selling female artist of all time?
Madonna.
Kevin, vermilion is a shade of what color?
Green.
Sam, 3-day hippie music festival set in 1969.
Oh my gosh, I can't think of it right now.
Eric, who starred as Rocky Balboa?
Sly Stallone.
Kevin, short piece of wood for cleaning teeth.
Toothbrush.
Sam, what organ did the Scarecrow want in The Wizard of Oz?
What?
What organ did the Scarecrow want?
The
in
heart.
No. Eric, who is the only U.S. president who ran unopposed?
That would be Garfield Cleveland.
That's not even a president. All right, Kevin,
That was
which
really
Baldwin is
convincing.
Justin Bieber's father-in-law?
Alec.
Sam, brick structure that funnels smoke through your fireplace to the outside.
A chimney.
Eric, the king of rock and roll sold 20 million albums the day after he died.
Elvis Presley.
Yes. Kevin, was the guillotine originally invented to cut off male genitalia or hands?
Hands.
Sam, title of the person in charge of a restaurant kitchen?
Manager.
Chef.
Oh, no.
You guys missed
Ooh,
it.
with that, Eric can pick off either Sam or Kevin because he got that last point. He was almost going to be scoreless.
Yeah.
It's a 1-1 against Eric's 3.
This is rough.
Wow,
I missed a lot.
that was our worst round
was
ever, guys.
Okay, so the
missed a
3-day
lot.
music festival was Woodstock.
Woodstock.
I could not.
Vermilion is a
think of
shade
that.
of red. The
didn't know
short
that.
piece of wood for cleaning the teeth is a toothpick,
toothpick.
not a
Sorry.
brush.
Oops.
Wizard of Oz, the Scarecrow wanted a brain.
Who wanted
George
the heart?
Washington
That's
was
Tin
the
Man
only
wanted the heart.
unopposed president.
Who was it?
George Washington, our first president, only one that ran unopposed.
I think there's a president called Garfield, and I think there's one named
There is Grover
Cleveland.
Cleveland. Yes. And there's
Stephen
definitely
Baldwin is Justin Bieber's father-in-law.
Oops.
So Eric gets to
Do I
choose
take out
goodbye to Kevin or goodbye to Sam.
who's got a lot going on today, and she's pregnant. A lot of things happening.
You give her a win. You can help her get a win and brighten
Or do I,
her day.
Kevin, if he's on medicine right now, he's seeing things probably above Sam's head. Look at his eyes.
Kevin's on
All
meds.
right, come on, make up your mind.
His eyes are on.
Sorry, Kev, you're out.
Kevin,
out.
Sean.
Kevin's
Okay,
out.
so that means there will be a new winner this week who's not on the board
Yeah,
yet.
at least
'cause
gives us
I've
a
won
chance.
2 and Kevin's won 1. So
Either
now
Eric
neither
or
one of us can get a
Sam.
win.
Who went first?
ladies
Eric
go
went
first.
first. No, you can go first.
You
I
go
think it's
first.
your turn,
Okay.
Sam, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Honestly. Okay, I don't know.
Seriously.
But he says, well, ladies first, so you're going to go first. Eddie and Shelly, they're in the running for the Chainsmoker Rodeo.
Sorry,
Houston tickets.
Eddie.
What?
How do you know?
You gotta have some
You can
confidence.
I have a feeling you're going to beat me like 4-3.
I don't.
Okay, here we go.
60
Rapid
seconds
fire
on the
quiz.
clock. Sam,
Okay.
you go first. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Sam, the person who rings up your order at a store.
Cashier.
Eric, Comet is the family dog in what classic sitcom?
Full house.
Sam, sour yellow citrus fruit.
A lemon.
Eric, suction tool used to unclog
Plunger.
toilets. Sam, 3-letter abbreviation for cardiopulmonary resuscitation.
CPR.
Eric, the Peach Pit was the diner in what TV show?
Beverly Hills 90210.
Sam, maneuver used to stop people from choking.
Heimlich.
Eric, car floor pedal you push before shifting a manual transmission. Sam, you need these to jumpstart a dead battery.
Jumper cables.
Eric, solar energy comes from what?
Solar panels. The sun.
Sam, Days of Our Lives in General Hospital are considered what?
Soap operas.
Eric,
he's
this
gonna
is
win.
the city where grunge music originated. Sam, bumps on your tongue that give you the flavor of food.
Taste buds.
Eric, insects that chew through wood and destroy
Termites.
your house. Sam, what cereal is known as the breakfast?
Ooh, no
Champions.
time.
I think
Hold
Sam
on.
won.
1, 2, 3,
Good
4,
job,
5,
Sam.
6, Eric. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Sam!
That is amazing. All right, Sam's song would be.
Okay, now I made this using AI, so this is how it goes.
Yeah! Nice.
All right, she got it for once.
All righty. Coming up next, we're going to do a little group therapy. You know, being a parent is really hard. Being a divorced parent is exceptionally hard, especially when your ex is trying to teach them everything that you're trying to teach them not to do. You're going to find out what it's all about. A little group therapy next on The Roland Ryan Show with Eric and 104.1 KRBE.
Time for group therapy on the Rule and Riot Show with Eric.
All right. So there are many ways you can reach out to us. You can DM us on social media. You can leave a call on the listener line or good old fashioned email. Sometimes it's a little bit easier to read in an email form than it is on a DM. And Rola's got the email right here.
I have to give this to y'all in a nutshell because it is a pretty big email, but she is divorced from her ex. Their daughter was 3 when they divorced. The daughter is now 13. And her question is, I don't understand how it's never far enough in the legal system. Meaning, when you see bad behavior happening from the parent to the child and you report it, it's never far enough for them to take action. And then she's like, well, I don't want to get far enough where the child's actually hurt.
Yeah, you want to try and stop it before.
She's trying to stop it before it takes its toll, but it has taken its toll over these 10 years. Some examples she has given in her email. Before the exes had somebody else in their lives, right? When they were just divorced, they would text each other. Once her ex got engaged, everything changed. They were no longer allowed to communicate in any other way except for emails. She was told not to be at the child's school by the then fiance, who's now the wife, because I'm a distraction. They once took her to a birthday party when she was around 5 or 6 years old, and she was too shy to wish the birthday child a happy birthday. She was yelled at all the way home, according to what she told me, and said, if you don't stop crying like a baby, then we're going to treat you like one. And according to what her daughter told her, because she wasn't in the house to witness it,
Right.
they put a diaper on the child and pointed and laughed.
Oh, my God.
That is what her child told her. imagine that as the parent whose hands are tied because you know that's not right. But as the other parent, like, well, I'm just trying to teach her a lesson, right? So she has all these examples through the years of ways that she believes her ex and his wife are mentally abusing her child. At some point, she started getting so much anxiety just at the thought of spending the night at her dad's house. Not even for the weekend, just the one night.
Oh, no.
That she started reacting where she would not eat. She would get massive migraines. She started becoming underweight and under height. Like she'd feel sick to her stomach. Then her father would start weighing her weekly and taking photos of her on the scale.
Oh, my God.
She was already having body image issues. A specialist had to come in. All these appointments were happening to make sure she's not going down that road.
Doing that causes so much psychological damage to the child.
Right.
And not only that, it almost guarantees that they will have weight problems the rest of their life.
So she says at 12 years old, finally, her hand was forced to file a lawsuit to get more custody. What has me now emailing you and asking this question, how far is too far? My daughter came to me last week with a migraine. She was hungry, and she told me she had to run the back perimeter of their house. It's a 1-acre lot. In the afternoon, I checked the weather index, which was above 100 at the time my daughter was running. At least one of the 4 times she was ordered to run. At one point, she was asked during the run if she was tired. And when she said yes, the response she got from the father and the stepmom was, well, you don't look it, so just go run again. I've been told that she's not being physically hit. So reporting it may not be the answer. I could get her an attorney that I can't afford. I can write an email, will generally results in further punishment that could be worse or the same and further, like they would punish the child for the back and forth of the mom trying to help her. She said, as I'm expected to show indifference or give devil's advocate opinions and advice. I take her to the pediatrician. I tell them the story. I'm not supposed to encourage her to tell them, and I have to take her to the counselor, but I'm not supposed to tell her to do it. I love her so much, and I don't know how to help and protect her. When is enough is enough? There is a story that she knows documented where a boy passed away in the custody of the parent under questionable parenting, and she doesn't want her child to be that next child. That's one of these scenarios.
And then the husband could be like, well, when she's with me, yeah, we might do that stuff, but I mean, she's laughing and we're having a good old time. Like, it's hard to. There's 2 sides to every story.
Can she?
So I mean, we're hearing her side.
So in Texas, a
But with
child
anxiety and stuff, all that. I mean, there's got to be something's happening.
That's what
she
I'm
said. I've
concerned
spoken
about.
to my lawyer, and the things I have said in the end are my situation. I know I'm not the only one going through this. We don't have enough money or time to fight this. When will the mental abuse and the minor child abuse situation make the courts, the judges, and the doctors less afraid of being sued and more worried for our kids before it's too late?
How about stuff? Lawyers? Is there a way for her to get a free counseling?
You have to have permission to actually. Both parents have to agree that the child needs to have
So
counseling.
maybe he would agree to that.
So-
If he doesn't, then you have to go to court.
Years
for that.
ago, they repealed the law where a 12-year-old could decide in the state of Texas which parent they want to live with. They repealed that law. Yeah.
All right, I want to know about MakeJusticeHappen.org. Elizabeth, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, good
Do
morning.
you work with this organization?
I just applied for them. So they go by your income. You have to fill out this survey, and they will call you and kind of get what your issue is, and then they'll schedule you an appointment for an attorney to call you.
Okay.
So I have an appointment next week. I don't send my daughter with her father anymore, and the same situation happened with my son. Once he turned 13, he can decide if he wants to go or not, and she has a lot of proof of why she doesn't want her to go.
So
they're
13
not
is the
gonna-
number?
At 12 years old, my son didn't want to go. He didn't go.
Okay.
And if they would call the cops, the cops would show up. The cops would just say, this is illegal, nothing we can do. You have to go to court. But he never took me to court. My son's now 16. He barely sees his dad. I've never sent my son if he doesn't want to go. And the same with my daughter. Right now, she doesn't go with her father. And I have a interview next week with the attorney for my daughter's father.
So then that did help you out. Then MakeJusticeHappen.org is a Houston volunteer lawyer website with different practice areas for family law, for housing, like divorce, custody, visitation, support, all this stuff. So
if
it
her
really
kid's 13,
covers a lot.
Her kid could say no,
Yes.
but
No.
if he's got money, he can go to court.
MakeJusticeHappen.org. Let's go to Whitney on the line at 833-390-KRBE going through a similar situation. Hi, Whitney. Good morning.
My daughter has developed an eating disorder as well from the things that my ex and his new wife have put her through also. And we are currently going through a lawsuit, so I'm not sure how much I can say. But don't send the child.
Yeah.
Get her a therapist. It depends on what's in the divorce decree, whether or not the other parent has to agree. But my ex didn't agree to her going to therapy either because he didn't want to get tattled on, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying.
Yeah.
That's why they do
It's
it.
really ridiculous an adult feels that way about their own child.
Whitney, what if, because you said just don't send her, what if they show up for her and she's like, no, she's not coming out of the house? Then the cops get called and then
Don't
what
open
happens?
the door.
Just don't open the door.
The cops
and the
get
cops
called, and they
what?
do exactly that. They say it's a civil matter, and
They won't do
that's
anything.
all there is to it. He would have to bring a case against her for withholding the child.
But if he has a lawyer and takes you to court, he could then try and sue.
If the child
and take
stands
full
up before
custody
a
or
judge
something.
and says, I don't want to go, Your Honor, to be with my dad because he's doing this to me.
Exactly.
But then
Yes,
what do
but
they
if the
say?
child says that, it doesn't matter, and the guy throws a lawsuit on her anyway because he's got money. That doesn't help. her.
That's why I said you need to go to a therapist and have it documented,
Yeah.
and the
Okay.
therapist can testify on their behalf.
Has she had the
Yeah,
conversation
speak
with
in emails
Has she
only.
had the conversation with her daughter asking, do you not want to go to your dad's? Has she had that conversation?
I don't think she said that in here.
Because, I mean, that's the conversation she needs to have with her child. And
Obviously,
say,
I'm
hey,
going to assume right now
if you don't
happened
wanna
because
go,
she's having
then we're not.
such anxiety when she knows the day is coming. She goes to her dad. She said that when the summer comes, when the school year ends, her daughter has severe anxiety because she knows now she has to spend a long amount of time with her dad.
Yeah, sometimes a month, sometimes weeks.
And so she said, kids should be happy school is out and summer is here, but her daughter totally falls apart
breaks
because
my
she
heart.
knows she has to spend time with her dad and his wife. That should tell you enough right there.
Sounds like this wife where the problem began.
And the Houston volunteer lawyers are makejusticehappen.org. They cover many different practice areas: guardianship, estate planning, federal taxes, housing, family law, all of it. It's really organized here on their website. Looks really good. So thank you for reaching out. And God bless you guys. My gosh.
Should help everybody.
Yes, we should. So if you would like to leave a comment on the listener line, 713-278-VENT, that is the number. We're going to help again. Coming up next, it's Couples Court. Husband and a wife. They've got a problem, and we're going to try and solve it next on the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric in 104.1 KRBE.
KRBE is back to the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.
Alrighty, we got to get our theme here, Kevin.
Okay.
The judges are entering the courtroom as we
The
speak.
Rule and Ryan Show with Eric. Couples Court, 104.1 KRBE.
Bring them in! Bring in the plaintiffs and the defendants. Actually, anytime you've got a problem in your relationship, you can reach out to us. And look, we're not experts, but there's 3 different votes, so it's never a tie. And we try and solve your problems for you. So in the courtroom this morning, we have Stephen and Carla. Good morning, guys.
Hi.
Good
Welcome to the
morning.
show.
So, Stephen, you're the one that messaged us, so we're going to let you take the stand first in Couples Court.
First, thanks, guys, for having both of us. Every year for the last 5 years for my birthday, my lovely wife and I have taken a trip to New Orleans and celebrated and been a lot of fun. Now, she also has a very good friend that she takes a trip with every year. So this year, it happens that her friend is available to take a trip to Miami the week after my birthday. So my wife is proposing we not take my birthday trip to New Orleans because it's going to be expensive to take the 2 trips back to back like that.
Okay, 2 questions here.
Wait a
2
minute.
questions here. First of all, 1, are you related to producer Eric?
Yeah, are you my cousin?
That kind of sound the same.
And then second, so what is your response to that, Carla?
I guess I just don't really understand the big deal because this isn't the first time we're going to, down there to NOLA. Like, we've gone for the past 5 years. I definitely by no means want to, blow off his birthday celebration. I offered, we'll spend the whole weekend, here with the kids and do something, and it'll be all about him, whole weekend, just not going
But
there.
in all honesty, that's not the same as tearing it up on Bourbon Street. Oh, let's go get wild with the kids.
Yeah.
We're getting older, right? It's kind of the same thing over and over again. Like, how many times can I walk down Bourbon Street, holding a grenade?
But exactly, you're getting older. You got to keep doing it while your legs still work.
I mean, there are other aspects to New Orleans that isn't just the stereotypical Bourbon Street.
If
you
you're
can
going to
go
say
to Harrah's.
you're going to say go to the World War II Museum.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that.
God.
Although I like it. I was saying Harrah's, you can gamble. There's fantastic restaurants if you guys are into
Or
trying
how
new
about
places.
this? Move your vacation with your best friend to another weekend.
Yeah, I don't
why is
get
this
why
so
we can't-
important that you have that vacation right then and there?
So that's the only time that she was able to get off.
Wait, so you're wanting you to cancel your husband's birthday so you can have a girls' trip?
No, I just want to do something closer to home.
You want to save money so you can spend more money Miami with your friend doing the girls'
Well, this is
weekend.
expensive in Miami. A drink, a mojito, or a martini is probably $20.
So, yeah, why can't your girlfriend change the weekend? Because he's not debating you having the trip with the girlfriend, because apparently you have it every year. But why can't you move the trip further from the birthday?
Steven, I see you every day. I only see Laurel this one time of year. You know, I miss her. I love her. I want to see her. You know, I love you so much, but I only see her once a year. Her schedule only allows this weekend for it to be exact the entire point. Otherwise, we would just move the trip. But she can't get up any other time.
How about this for a solution? Why don't you invite her to come along to New Orleans? Maybe things get wild and the
Really,
three of you will end
Ryan?
up together.
Really? You're such a weirdo.
I don't think Steven likes that
Okay,
one.
we're
He's
not-
quiet about that.
Steven,
Okay.
what do you think of Laurel?
No, will you stop? Ryan, okay, the point is you're putting your girlfriend trip as a higher priority than your husband's
See,
birthday trip.
I'm leaning towards Steven because, Steven, when we talked yesterday, you told me you just feel like she's choosing her friend over you, right?
Well, that's exactly what it feels like.
You know, I want to see my best friend.
Oh,
dude.
man. Okay, well, it's up to us, guys. It's couples court.
I think just do both.
But they can't. They don't want to
Yeah,
do
can't afford it,
two
Eric.
back to back.
That's what credit cards and debts for.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
are you
I'm the
giving me
anti
grief?
Dave Ramsey or whatever his name is.
Catcher's game.
I'll teach you how to be in debt.
Either way, somebody's going to leave with hurt feelings because it's like he's not going to be able to enjoy himself if he brings his wife to New Orleans and she's like, I don't get to see my friend now.
Yeah.
And if she goes to see her friend and he's going to be like, wow, I guess I meant that much to you.
I mean, I just don't think it's fair that she's getting to choose one above the other when in years past we've done both.
I say let her go, and then you should try and get some extra birthday loving out of this.
Oh, so you use a poker chip?
Yes.
It's interesting.
You
That's also
wanna
my
hit
choice
the
as
upper
well.
hand?
Poke her chip.
God, I'm shaking my head. I don't
I'm going
know
with,
where to
with
go
her
on
now. I agree
this.
with let her be with her friends since they haven't.
I don't think
it's the
this
only
is
time
fair.
they see each other.
I don't think this is fair. You know, it's like you really put him in an awkward situation if he had planned for this all year long, and then all of a sudden you get a call from your girlfriend. Well, we're canceling your
Can you guys go
birthday.
to New Orleans like later on?
Maybe you could do like a delayed
Yeah, do
birthday
some-
trip.
This is not his birthday anymore.
With
then.
like COVID though, I mean, people
A lot of
did
people
their
don't celebrate their birthdays on their
celebrations.
birthdays.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with that, Stephen, pushing off your birthday trip but still going, just not the weekend of your birthday?
You know, honestly, times are tighter right now, and we can't really afford both trips this year. And I think I'd like to spend the time with my wife.
We have a texter that made a good point. Why do you guys have to be in Miami?
Yeah, Carla, you
Yeah,
and your
here.
friend.
Why don't you have her here and
Go to-
you can have fun and spend time with the kids
Go to the
here.
your
Austin, go
girls-
to the hills.
Yeah, or there's like spas
Spas
here. They're like
here.
fantastic
There you
spas
go.
here.
How about a compromise?
Make it a girls' weekend? She's going to travel anyway.
I mean, I'd be fine with it. We haven't really talked about it. So, you know, honestly, I just really want it to work on both ends. So I'd be, you know, open to figuring out how it
I
works.
think we've got our case closed right now. You
Go to
bring
trip.
your friend here.
Great idea, Texter. Thanks
Yeah.
for that. 375
Case
I know what they're
closed.
talking about. You can get your girlfriend to come to Houston, cut out Miami. You can still do New Orleans with your husband, and you still get what you want, Carla,
Yep.
and Steven gets what he wants.
Yeah, I mean, that would work.
All right.
There we go.
Are you good with that, Steven?
I'm good with that.
Okay, great.
Look at
Thanks
that.
a lot for coming to the show, guys. We appreciate you guys listening.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
All right, case closed finally. Man, Kev, I am like dragging this morning. I took sleep medicine last night and just been groggy all morning.
Everyone's dragging on in here.
I know.
This morning.
Yeah, some people just walking in right now.
Uh-oh.
Not shaming. All right, so coming up next, I thought I'd pepper in some Ambien stories. You know,
I love those. Those
People
are
that take
so
that
funny.
drug, it's
But
so dangerous.
Yes, actually very dangerous.
All right, so we're going to hear your Ambien stories next on the Roll and Ride Show with Eric and 104.1 KRBE. 104.1 KRBE. It's the Roll and Ride Show with Eric, and we talk about this from time to time, Ambien stories. You know, people take that drug, and it has got a lot of dangerous side effects.
Wild what we hear from folks who are driving away with their children in the middle of the night.
Don't even know they're doing it.
No, husbands finding a tub overflowing. It is wild. I've only taken Ambien maybe once or twice, and my doctor put me on something else called like Tramadol or I don't know what.
No,
the heck
not Trema. I bet it was Sinesta. That's
no,
the
it
other
started
one.
with a T. I
Oh,
started
okay.
with anyway. I mean, I might take it once a month if I have not been getting good sleep. But Ambien is next level.
Yeah, so let's start with Morgan. Good morning, Morgan. What's your story?
I had started taking Ambien about a week before my honeymoon, and we were going to Paris. So we had just boarded the flight from Atlanta going straight across. I was still trying to process how I even captured my husband because he's kind of like violently out of my league. But I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go to sleep and we'll just dream about this.
You got your husband is out of your league.
I know how you feel.
So it's a long flight. I mean, that is a long flight from Paris to, from Atlanta to Paris, what, 8 hours? 10?
Right.
About 8.5.
Okay, so you know you have a long flight ahead of you. You've been prescribed Ambien. You decide to take it. And what happens?
Well, I woke up to being violently shaken, and it's my husband, and he asked me, like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, everything's fine. What's up? And then he, like, whispers, like, I think you peed yourself.
Peed yourself?
What? And so I looked down, and I had peed myself. Like, the seat was soaking wet.
How far into the trip was that?
We still had about 5 hours left. So we're kind of, like, in the middle of the plane. I'm like, okay, let me go to the restroom. And so my husband's walking behind me, and, of course, I don't pack extra clothes in the carry-on bag because I'm an adult and I don't pee on myself. I'm freaking out as I'm like, okay, I really did just pee on myself. And so I'm panicking in the restroom, and so I get the urge to vomit. So I vomit, but I missed the toilet. So now it's going down my shirt and down my pants, and my husband's just looking at me like, okay, do we need to call an emergency medical landing? What's going on with you?
God.
So eventually he stopped the flight attendant, and they were like, oh yeah, this happens more than you know. Here's some extra clothes.
No way.
Oh, they had spare clothes.
Was it like jail clothes?
Yes.
It was like an orange jumpsuit or something?
Leftover muscle found.
That's better than wearing pee and puke filled clothes.
Oh my God, they had extra clothes for you? That's amazing.
What about your seat, though? What'd they do to your seat? They couldn't take it out, the cushion.
There was actually extra seats on the plane, so we just moved to another seat.
Oh, that's nice.
What about the person next to you, though?
Oh, man.
What if there's 3
have
rows?
you had Ambien before? I'm sorry if you mentioned that. Is this your first time ever taking it?
I had started about a week prior.
Okay. Because this sounds very traumatic.
I didn't pee on myself before then. I don't know.
I would never take this.
And one more question, Morgan, just to be clear, because everybody is affected differently by different drugs. Did you have any alcohol or anything that would have put you in such a deep sleep that you did not have the sensors of the brain firing? Wake up, Morgan, you have to pee. Like, how is it you slept so deeply and you peed on yourself just because it worked that well?
I cannot figure it out because our wedding was the day before. Like, we had a full 24 hours to reset before getting on the plane.
And no alcohol on the plane?
No alcohol. No. I could not figure it out.
Ambien.
Wow.
Holy
feel bad for the
That's
person
a Hall of Famer
that
there.
got in that seat after her.
They probably wipe it off.
I will tell you the trick because when
leather, aren't they?
Yeah, they don't probably sink in.
I was on a Lufthansa flight when I was 20 years old.
You know, when your airlines.
You know when you're broke and you don't care how you fly, and you're just like in college, and you're like, whatever, we'll stay in a hostel.
Cushion from Grandma's old couch.
So that when I boarded the flight to Germany, which was the long haul from Houston to Germany, the seat next to me was my brother's seat, and there was barf on it.
Ew.
Somebody had barfed on that plane, and they did not clean that row because we were way in the back, like 47J. And so we were so pissed off, like disgusted. We were too young to know to turn into Karens, and the flight attendant just came over with some Absolute vodka, and she put Absolute vodka on a cloth, and she's like, look, I'll just clean the seatbelt like this. And I go, but the seat pocket has it, and the magazine has it on there. It was terrible, but they clean it with vodka. Just a little side note on airplanes. Okay, here we go with the next call. Ambien stories. Wow, Morgan, you really brought it on that one. Okay, let's go to Jose. I cannot with this one. Has to do with an airplane again.
More airplane stuff. All right.
Airplane.
Jose, tell us the Ambien story. Now, this is your perspective as an employee, or you saw this happen?
I used to work for a major airline.
Okay.
And I used to work in their headquarters, and we used to deal with all these kinds of situations on airplanes. We had a passenger. There was a flight from New York area to Hong Kong.
Okay. Not a short flight.
So first class, they sit by themselves, right? They have their own separate little pods.
Right.
And the gentleman gets up after taking Ambien and drank Jack Daniels.
Oh, no.
He gets up, walks over to another pod, and proceeds to unzip and urinate on another passenger and his laptop.
Oh, my God.
But here's the best part. Upon waking up the customer who did the urinating and realizing what happened, he said, don't stop the flight. I will pay him $3,000. I have an important meeting.
Holy
Did he give him $3,000?
He did.
Wow.
I think he did. And then I also, as a courtesy, I had a full suit waiting for the gentleman who was urinated on in the Hong Kong airport for me to change into.
God.
Man.
But see, the other guy was also rich, so was $3,000 enough for that guy to be peed on?
Yeah, well, laptop can't be cheap.
I need at least $20,000 for someone to do that to me.
So we now know Eric's price.
You'd be mad about my laptop, too.
Oh, my gosh, Jose.
This is just the tip of the iceberg. I have hundreds and hundreds.
I call the lister line once a day and just give us one.
Yeah. And we're going to do like a raw food airline.
I'm no longer employed with them anymore, so you guys can have all the stories.
Okay, that number, Jose, lock it in your phone like a contact is 713-278-VENT.
That is the listener line, so call us anytime you want. 713-278-VENT.
Hey, yo. It's time for What's Going Down in H-Town on the Rule and Ryan Show with Eric.
104.1 KRBE.
All right, the Stros beat the Phillies 1-0. Cooper Hummel homered to give the Stros a win over the Phillies. I know you hate sports, Kevin.
No. I mean, obviously, I love the Phillies. It was the first team I ever got to see when I was a kid. I got to watch Mike Schmidt.
Oh, my God. I remember him.
Oh, did I just date myself?
Yes,
I mean, never
you
mind.
certainly did.
Hold on, let me take that back.
Right, you're only 24.
So, I know, but they play a couple different games against them, right? Though this is part of a series, is that right?
That's usually how it works.
So the Phillies have another chance to beat the Astros. Who do you root for when it's like your home team versus your home team?
How long have you lived here? Seriously.
I've lived here in downtown Houston since 1999.
Okay, so you're a Houstonian. Last week, demolition crews began tearing down 2 buildings on Leland as part of the Texas Department of Transportation's I-45 improvement project.
Leland.
So one of the buildings that they've torn down is that well-known graffiti park. You've passed that before, haven't you?
I'm sure I have.
So for many Houstonians and artists, watching Graffiti Park come down was really, really traumatic. It was a painful reminder of just how quickly we mow down all our cultural landmarks here in H-Town. As the walls on Leland Street fell, members of the community said, quote, "What's being lost isn't just a building, it's years of shared work, memory, and expression." It is true. We tear down everything in this city with not a care in the world, but for some reason, we don't tear down the dome.
Well, hopefully they took some good photos of it and they'll be able to, make maybe a wrap of it that they can put back up somewhere. I'm trying to find Leland Street. I can't find Leland Street.
You don't know Leland?
I don't. Well, you tell me if you know where it is. So good.
Downtown.
Downtown where, bro? Like, I'm like near what?
I passed it. Oh, God.
You've passed it. We've all passed it.
I want to say, oh, God.
Deep in here, like where?
When I was cutting down Richmond and I went into the city, I used to see those. Yeah, when it turns into something else. Oh, God, I'm terrible with names. But the bottom line is you can see all the photos on Cron.com. It's right there on the front page. It's kind of sad what's happening right now. Now, coming up next, Special K's got a prank call. This is, I'd say, in my top 5 of all time with Eloise Pennybaker.
Well, you're living on a graveyard, that house that you bought, my family's all buried up on there. I just found Leland Street, too. It's been there for a long time. It's about the 3rd Street in past Pease and Jefferson. You should know this if you live in Houston for so long.
All right, smartass. Okay, the prank call's coming up next on the Roland Ryan Show with Eric.
All right, fine.